So, having a bit of a nightmare this morning. Basically, I went to log into my PayPal account the other day, and it said that I had an issue, and I thought it might just be a customer dispute, and you get them occasionally when you run a business that accepts payments from a website. And I looked, and it said we need to verify your account. That's fine, and it said we need to verify your address and your date of birth, and there was a unified way you could do that, and just to upload your driving license. And I keep all my sort of documents and things scanned, so easily uploaded a driving license, and that was that. There was a restriction on withdrawing any money that was in your account, and I do go through periodically and withdraw anything that I've got in my PayPal account. I don't like to sort of keep it all there. I'd rather it was in my bank account. And that was all fine. Anyway, this morning I got an email to say your restriction for withdrawing has been removed. Thinking, great. So I log into my PayPal account, but I then saw I still had like a little kind of exclamation mark in the corner, in a little in a box. And I clicked on it. It said that there was still an issue with my account. So I had a look, and it turns out that PayPal have just stopped my account. I can no longer use PayPal. Apparently, they don't give you any explanation at all on the website. It's the lack of transparency is really frustrating, actually. So just as I was about to give them a call, I had an email come through to say the reason why. And apparently, the reason why is that I opened my PayPal account before I was actually under the age of 18 when I opened it. I dispute that because not only, as far as I can tell, this is a fairly new account, but also the date they gave me in which I opened the account was a day where I would have been at college at the time. Some of the information they gave sort of sounds about correct, but there's also a lot of flaws in what they sort of suggest, really. I would contest that their records are incorrect. I think regardless of what evidence I'm able to gather, and I think I'd have a pretty strong chance actually of contesting it. I really don't think I'm going to get anywhere with them. Their line on it seemed to be pretty hard, really, and that if they've got it, there in black and white, this is the date that you opened your account, then there's nothing I can do to fix that. So it's very unclear as to whether my account is going to be permanently kind of frozen. The issue that I've got is that, okay, I can stop using my account for paying for things. It says that I can still withdraw money from it, and obviously I was able to this morning, so I know that restriction's been lifted. My concern is the recurring payments that are on my website. Everything that runs through better notifications for WordPress, for WP.com, those come through, and there are recurring payments, there are new payments going through, taken with PayPal. I don't know whether those are going to continue or whether they're going to fail. There's just no clear information at all from PayPal on whether that's going to be the case. And I had a quick look. I was able to do a quick database dump, and I was able to query the subscriptions and customers that I've got. And of the active subscriptions, PayPal roughly makes up about a third of my recurring revenue. So, and Stripe is the other 2/3, which is arguably, and I'm not just saying this because I'm slightly sort of frustrated with PayPal at the moment, a better system. Most developers will tell you that the Stripe API is better, the transparency is better, ability to deal with subscriptions and kind of the information that you can get is better, and as well as the services that connect to Stripe. If you want to use, like Baremetrics or some kind of failed payment, abandoned payment recovery kind of system, they all tend to integrate with Stripe, and those that integrate with PayPal a few and far between, really. So this is a potential opportunity to move entirely to Stripe. I'm not entirely comfortable about putting all my eggs in one basket, and I know that some people will be put off not being able to pay with PayPal, so that's kind of concerning me as well. The most frustrating thing is that that's it. We've closed your account. There's nothing you can do to fix this. You can provide evidence, but I did say to the chat, I said that I really don't think that I'm going to get very far with my appeal. He suggested that even if I was able to prove that I didn't open the account when I was under the age of 18, someone else had done on my behalf using my email address, which is ludicrous because I've been the only person that's ever been able to access that account, and I know that. Even if I wasn't successful in kind of this application, there was no olive branch at all. I mean, I've been taking payments on my website, recurring payments for over 2 years now, PayPal's been taking their cut. They've been taking their percentage from the their PayPal fees from every recurring payment and new sale that's been processed through it. So there's no help whatsoever. It's like, okay, we understand what's happened here. Let's try and get you set up with a new account and migrate over your subscriptions or migrate your account details or anything like that. Obviously, I've got PayPal IPN and API integrations on several sites. I've got all these subscriptions that go through. Will they fail? There really was no information, no help given whatsoever. And I was really disappointed with the customer service there. There just wasn't any. There just wasn't any customer service. And it relied on me having to prove things rather than them helping me. And he did say there's nothing to stop you from just opening a new PayPal account. And in fact, that's what they suggest that you do. But then there's the question of do recurring payments carry through to the old PayPal account? Can I integrate 2 PayPal accounts on my site? So one deals with subscriptions and one deals with new sales and new subscriptions. I doubt it. These things tend to be set up for just using one. And it's just that lack of information is really frustrating. So anyway, I've got to give them another call to see if they can help me understand this subscriptions issue. Hopefully it'll be okay. And if it's not, then I might have to do some mass emailing and asking everyone to either re-input their details and explain that I'll no longer be using PayPal on the site or providing PayPal as a way to pay for things or subscribe to things or something else really, or let them fail and do something else. But I have to say it's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling, and the lack of help there is pretty bad. Sometimes I hear bad things about Stripe, but most of the time I hear bad things about PayPal, and being a user of PayPal and seeing that disconnect between this new look of PayPal that they're trying to integrate along with this old look, and then you've got Stripe doing things like Atlas and all that sort of stuff, and it makes you want to be with a company that cares about you or cares about customers and sort of doing business. And I just feel like this is a bolt-on for PayPal really. They've just kind of had to do some of the things they've done because of market threat and stuff from people like Stripe or Authorize.net or other payment gateways really. So anyway, enough ranting. I'm going to give them a call, see how I get on, and fingers crossed it's going to be good news. I just want to say, before I do phone PayPal, I've just gone through my plugin website and removed PayPal as a payment option from the checkout as well. I just figure that moving forward, if there was anything that happened right now, today, and I do get payments come through, if someone bought something with PayPal whilst I was still dealing with all of this, it would just be one more thing that I've got to worry about. So I thought I'd better just switch it all off, and I can always switch it back on again. The whole thing took me about 5 minutes to do, which is wonderful, but it would be really great to not have that on my mind. So I've gone through it and done that, and hopefully I won't see any issues with people not wanting to buy because they can't pay with PayPal or anything. So that's something. So I've just gotten off the phone with PayPal a second time this morning, and the good news is that there is no restrictions on withdrawing any money from my account. So she basically said that you still can't use this account, but there are no withdrawal limits, so you can still withdraw money. And if money did come into the account because the subscriptions went through successfully, then you would be able to withdraw it. So that's good. However, she still doesn't know what's going to happen with subscriptions that are active on my account. Will they continue to process, or will they fail when they come up for renewal? I think the next renewal, in the next subscription, which is it's just a yearly, recurring fee for a customer, is on the 1st of March. So I've got a couple of weeks to actually wait until that happens. But she did forward it to a senior advisor, and hopefully they're going to get back to me soon about it. So the saga continues really. It just goes to show how difficult it is to deal with some of these larger companies. And I appreciate that they have, if they got audited or something like that, they could lose certain licenses. I'm very tempted to just ditch PayPal altogether. I'm just hoping that the 1/3 of my business that actually relies on PayPal subscriptions and recurring payments isn't going to screw me. So we'll see. So it's been 6 days since my last update. I still haven't heard anything from PayPal. I am going to give them a call and chase them this week. The one bit of good news that I did have was that whilst I'm still waiting on the PayPal side of things, on my website side of things, I was concerned that customers weren't going to be able to cancel their subscriptions via my website, which is something that I advertise you can do at kind of any time. And it's good to be able to provide that kind of functionality, so you don't have to, there's not that disconnect between asking someone to log into their PayPal account and understanding that they paid for something through your website and then have to log into PayPal to cancel their subscription. It's nice to be able to do it all on your one website. And if your e-commerce solution is good enough, it should allow you to do that. I use Easy Digital Downloads for my plugin website, and I use the recurring payment subscription. That's really the good thing. The good bit of news that I've got is that because I'm using the recurring payments add-on, it means that users still can cancel their subscription in their account on my website. There's still that connection between my website and PayPal. Hopefully I'll have a very short update again soon. The truth of the matter is that I haven't heard from PayPal at all. They haven't gotten in touch with me, and it's now the 1st of March. This was the day where my next renewal was going to go through on PayPal. I've had renewals go through on Stripe, but I haven't had anything go through on PayPal since kind of this all happened. So I thought I'd double check anyway. There's actually not a lot of information in PayPal on whether or not these things are gonna kind of go through or not. But anyway, the long and the short of it is the active subscriptions that are with PayPal are failing. So in Easy Digital Downloads, you can see that they're set to failing. In PayPal, you don't really see that they're failing at all. They just say that they're still active. I don't know if EDD does a check PayPal to see if whether that link is kind of there, or whether it and sort of preempts whether it's going to fail, or whether it just fails once and then that's when EDD gets its failed flag kind of set. The kind of good news is that some customers have already noticed that their payments are failing. There's an email that goes out from my site and it gets sent to the customer if their payments start to fail. And some customers have obviously somehow realized that this is failing and they've gone and bought the add-on again from my site. And some customers, they're wonderful. Some of them, when they bought the add-on was slightly cheaper, so they bought it again at full price, which is now not what they bought it at originally. Some of them had discounts, but they've bought it again at full price. There hasn't been loads of those, but I'm just overwhelmed by how wonderful that is of the customers that I've got, and I've had no complaints yet about anything like that. So that's good. What I'm going to do now is tweak my failing recurring payment notification email just to say that I'll no longer be offering PayPal as payment. I'm sorry that your recurring payment is failing, and what you have to do is to just go and purchase the add-on again. And if there was a difference between what they paid before and what they paid now, and I will make sure that they are reimbursed for the difference somehow. I haven't worked out the logistics of it yet, but I will make sure that will happen, and that's the case. So there we go. This was all slightly kind of put in place by some really good news that I had today as well, and that is, and I check this not every day, but I log into support on the free plugin on WordPress.org basically nearly every day to check if there's any support messages to go through. I take note of how many active installs there are, and it ticked over today from 10,000 to 20,000, which is just amazing. I'm so proud of that the plugin has grown from 10,000 to 20,000 active installs. It's just amazing. And 10,000 active installs I've been sat on for a little while now, so I've been sort of wondering, I wonder if it will tick over to 20,000 one day, or whether it won't do that at all. Maybe it'll go down, or maybe it will never go up to 20,000, I don't know. But just seeing it today just, was really nice, and it was a great way of reminding me that I think I'm still making something that people want to use and to install. So that's kind of taken the edge off a bit, the whole PayPal thing. And obviously, like I say, this looks like one continuous kind of, video, but in reality, I've had weeks to think about my decision. Would I go back to PayPal or not? And I've more or less decided that I won't. I feel like I've been burnt a bit by PayPal, I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, something I highlighted before was there's so much more opportunity for tying in things. It's really, really encouraging. So I think I'm going to do that. I've only had one person in the last 2-3 weeks say, do you offer PayPal? I replied and just explained why I can't. Is there anything I can kind of do to put your mind at rest? I don't store payment details on my site or anything like that. And they were fine with it, and I was able to sort of let them understand that it was all fine, and hopefully, if I'm still able to do that, I'll be okay. I appreciate that over the next kind of year, I will take some hit in some way of recurring payments failing, and it will be slightly offset by a growing revenue and growing this kind of business. So hopefully that's the end of it, really. I know my hair looks a bit crazy today, but it's I wonder if throughout this video it's all just my hair's going to look more and more crazy the longer this kind of PayPal madness goes on. But sometimes that's just what you get from working at home. That's not an excuse. Anyway, no more PayPal, and it didn't really get resolved, but I just thought it was interesting, and perhaps this will help somebody in the future watching this, and they can understand how those kinds of decisions affect, one kind of person, companies like myself, impact that may have on their revenue and their cash flow and their business, and maybe convince people to not go with PayPal if they're concerned about certain things. So, yeah, I'm hoping this helps someone. I'm going to stop rambling now. Thanks.